Hello all, welcome to my class. Let's start with the daily current affairs. Yes. So what I would want to tell you that please help me stay better on the algorithm before I begin the class. This is my humble request to share this video with as many people as possible so that I can keep on the hard work continuing. Let's talk about the first question. With respect to the first ever National Creators Award, choose the incorrect statement. Make sure you read the entire statement before answering the question. We are talking about incorrect one. So recently the National Creators Award has been distributed by the Prime Minister of India, and that is why this is very important for us. 23 winners have been selected across 20 categories, and there were 3 winners from one specific categories for International Creators Award. All right, so remember 23 winners, out of which 3 have been whom? International creators. Remember that. Okay, so content submission can be done in English or any other Indian language. That is absolutely correct. Remember, any other Indian language, and not only those 22 languages which are reflected in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. So first one is definitely correct. And there are 20 categories, out of which 19 categories envision one award, and the remaining one category consists of international creators. So 3 people were selected from there. International creators, it should be international creators were actually a part of it. Here it is written not a part. So this makes this particular statement incorrect. Participants at the time of nomination, remember that as well. Not at the time of receiving the award, but at the time of nomination. They must be 18 years of age. Also, there are 20 categories. Remember that. These many important facts are important for your examination. So, storytelling, advocacy, sustainability, education, gaming. Wherever a person has been able to use digital platforms to make a positive influence, they were awarded. 23 were selected, out of which 3 were international in nature. The 20 categories include Best Storyteller, Disruptor of the Year, Celebrity Creator of the Year, Green Champion, Best Creator for Social Change. And in 19 of these categories, a single winner is chosen, but in the International Creator Award category, 3 winners are there. So awards will be presented across 20 distinct categories. Remember that. Age requirement, as I told you, is 18 plus at the time of nomination. That you have to remember. Nationality could be Indian and somebody who has made an impact on different Indian areas. Platforms could be used such as Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, ShareChat, Koo, Roposo, or Moj. Language, as I told you, it can be in English or any other Indian language. All right. Then nomination limits. This is very interesting. If supposedly a person has to nominate for self, then they can do it for 3 categories. If a person has to be nominated, or if I want to nominate any other person, not myself, I can do it for 20 categories. So remember, there is a limitation. Now let's talk about this next scheme. With respect to the Namaste scheme, consider the following statements. It's a joint initiative by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment and the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. It has replaced the self-employment scheme for rehabilitation of manual scavengers. Under it, a national database with a unique Namaste ID for each sewer and septic tank workers will be created. So we have to see how many of the statements given above is or are correct. Namaste scheme is a joint initiative between the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment and Ministry of Urban Affairs. All right, remember, not Ministry of Tribal Affairs. And yes, it has replaced the self-employment scheme for rehabilitation of manual scavengers. This is definitely correct. So first is incorrect, second is correct. Also, in order to ensure that policy reaches better, there is a better outreach of this policy, a national database with a unique Namaste ID will be created for each sewer and septic tank worker. So that makes the second and the third statement to be correct. 2 only will be the correct answer over here. So this is the National Action for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem Scheme. That means people who clean our sewers need better protection and they need dignity. That is why mechanized sanitation ecosystem is being developed. It is a joint initiative between the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment and the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. And a self-employment scheme for the rehabilitation of manual scavengers has been replaced by it. To eliminate this particular scheme will eliminate the manual engagement of sanitation workers. That means whoever walks in personally in physicality to clean manual scavenging, that is really deterioratory to the dignity of that person. So that is why in order to remove this particular scheme has been brought into existence. So who will implement this? Implementation will be done by the National Safai Karamcharis Finance Development Corporation. That is really good for how many years? For 3 years. From fiscal year 2023 to 2024 till 2025 to 2026. Let's move ahead. Let's talk about the components of the scheme. So profiling of sewer and septic tank workers will be there. We will profile those people who are engaged in this particular, basically who have been engaged in the manual scavenging. Health insurance, like the people who are engaged here, they will be included in the Prime Minister Jan Arogya Yojana. They will get health insurance. Safety measures will be provided, PPE kits will be provided, and mechanized help will be provided where manual scavenging is not possible. Also, training will be given to them to hopefully do the mechanized system of cleaning. Then capital subsidy of up to rupees 5 lakh. Remember this because this could be asked. There should be a capital subsidy of rupees 5 lakh for sanitation related vehicles and equipment. If there is any equipment needed, then rupees 5 lakh will be given as core. And sanipreneurship, that means whoever is going to engage themselves as an entrepreneur for sanitation, these will be known as sanipreneurship. So if I make a particular startup, if I go with a particular startup which helps me reduce manual scavenging, this will also be incentivized. Now let's move on and talk about the next question. With respect to the CBTC technology, consider the following statements. This is a communication based technology. Remember that. So this is a very interesting technology. Remember that because it has recently been in the news. It uses radio communication to transfer timely and accurate train control information. Bengaluru's first driverless metro train uses this technology. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? Actually, both are correct. So both 1 and 2 will be the correct answer. Bengaluru Metro Rail Corporation Limited, they have received their first set of self self-driving train or driverless trains, and this is based on communication based train control system. This will be operating on the 18.8-kilometer long line which will connect south of Bengaluru to the Bengaluru's tech hub. It will be the first to have a driverless train. That means train will be able to communicate among themselves. Coaches are actually manufactured by Chinese firm CRRC Nanjing Puzen Co Limited, and this is done with the help of the domestic partner Titagarh Railway System Limited, and this is under the Make in India initiative. Remember this because this could be a game changer for you. Remember, it is under the Make in India initiative. We have actually coordinated with a Chinese firm for this. Coaches have been manufactured by them. Now, AI, artificial intelligence, is employed for track monitoring and also analyzing the sensory data. Also, while cameras on trains are aid real-time analysis of the visual data for safety measures. Let's see how safe it will be. Once it will start working, we will know about it. So this particular technology, CBTC technology, helps train the different trains in those areas which are driverless to communicate among themselves, sending real-time data where they are, what they are doing, like that only. And this will be working through a control center. So interlocking everything will be operated through the control center. Zone control will be there, and it will be all based on this particular digital technology, the artificial intelligence. So it's going to be really good. Moving on, the Hill of Solomon, recently seen in the news, is situated in Balaghat, Patkai Bum, Maikal Range, Zabarwan Range. So the Hill of Solomon actually was named the Takht-e Suleiman. That means the throne of Solomon. But when Adi Shankaracharya, he attained enlightenment here, then it was named the Shankaracharya Hills. So it is in the Zabarwan range. As you can see on this particular map, the Zabarwan range is over here. So the Hill of Solomon is situated here only. All right, remember it because this could be a map-based question. The Prime Minister paid obeisance to the Shankaracharya temple, and it is on the Shankaracharya Hill. That was, of course, Shankaracharya Hill. Let me write it down. And it's also known as formerly known as Hill of Solomon. Okay, Takht-e Suleiman. Moving on, let's talk about the next one. Let's talk about this temple. This is a very beautiful temple, very heighted in nature, and as you can see, its arc is horseshoe shaped. So if it is asked in your prelims, remember, horseshoe shaped arc is there, and this has both Greek and Gandhara influences. All right. And it is supposed to be built in the 200 BCE. This is what we know of. But the kind of structure it is, or the kind of we can say architecture it reflects, it looks like it belongs to the 9th century CE. So earlier it was known as Takht Suleiman, this particular hill. But later on, when Saint Adi Shankaracharya in 750 AD, he attained enlightenment over here, then it was named as the Shankaracharya Hill. It is the oldest temple in Kashmir Valley, and it reflects the indigenous early Kashmiri style of architecture which has Greek and Gandhara influences. It is also known as Jayateshwara Temple or Pas Pahar. So remember, because these many names can be used interchangeably. Next is with respect to environment. With respect to the Great Lakes of North America, consider the following statements. Now remember, you must go through all the statements very carefully. These are the largest group of freshwater lakes on earth by total volume. Lake Michigan is the largest lake in the entire USA. Hydrologically, Michigan and Huron are actually a single body of water. They are joined at the Straits of Mackinac. They connect to the Atlantic Ocean via the Mississippi River. So what do we have to see? Not correct. Sometimes what happens, these many statements, 4 statements, once you read them, you become a little, indulged in those statements. Sometimes you will forget to look at if we have to select the not correct or the correct statement. So we will talk about it. If we talk about the Great Lakes of North America, it includes Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, Lake Ontario. And these are joined to the Atlantic Ocean via the St. Lawrence River and not the Mississippi River. Now, these are available, or these are located on the border of Canada and the USA. But Lake Michigan, as you see, is the largest in the USA, United States of America. Now, if we talk about Lake Michigan and Lake Huron, these actually are a single body of water, but these are, connected with the help of Strait of Mackinac. So remember the Strait of Mackinac. I'm just writing S. Strait of Mackinac. So this is kind of, a smaller version so that we can move forward. So Strait of Mackinac joins Lake Michigan and Lake Huron. The St. Lawrence River connects the 5 freshwater bodies of the United States of America and Canada, basically North America, to the Atlantic Ocean. And remember, sometimes the east to west or west to east arrangement is also asked. Now, these are the largest freshwater bodies on the earth when it comes to what? Area, not volume. In this particular question, it is written volume. By total area, it should be. So this first statement is incorrect. All right, remember, because here it is written total volume. If we have to talk about total volume, then it is second largest. And what is the total volume percentage in the entire earth? For freshwater, it is 21%. So Lake Michigan is the largest lake in the USA. Yes, it is. It is, my friend. Here it is Lake Michigan. And thereafter, hydrologically, these Michigan and Huron, they are actually a single body of water, but through the Strait of Mackinac, these are connected. And they connect to the Atlantic Ocean via the St. Lawrence River. So fourth is incorrect. Third is correct. Second is correct. First is incorrect. So if we have to select the incorrect ones, 1 and 4 will be incorrect, and that is 2 only, because second and third, 2 else are the other 2 are correct. Moving on. What has happened? For the second consecutive year, the Great Lakes have experienced historically low levels of ice, and because of above average temperatures and reduced Arctic air blast, this is very possible. Moving on, I have told you about it. So this map is for more specification. Lake Michigan, as you can see, is also completely situated in the USA completely. But Lake Superior, Lake Huron, Erie, Ontario, these are the lakes which are situated at the border of Canada and the USA. Moving on. It was a prominent dynasty that held sway over the region from the 10th to 14th century Christ era or Common Era during the late classical period in the Indian subcontinent. They trace their lineage back to Mayura Sharma, as noted in the Talagunda inscription found in Shivmoga, Karnataka. So, which dynasty is being referred to in the above paragraph? The Rashtrakutas, the Kalingas, the Chalukyas, or the Kadambas? The correct answer from this, we will get the Kadambas. Let's talk about it. The Defense Minister has recently inaugurated 2 major piers and 7 residential towers to accommodate Project Seabird, and it has been done at the naval base in Karwar, that is in Karnataka, and this is INS Kadamba. So this is, if we talk about Project Seabird, this is the biggest naval project in India. The first phase of it was completed in the year 2011. Right now we are going through the second phase B part. All right, and this is the biggest naval project in India. What does it want to do? It wants to enhance naval capabilities and provide modern residential accommodations. So it is situated in Kavar, Karnataka. Remember that, or Karnataka, and it is the third largest naval base in India after Mumbai and Vishakhapatnam. And INS Vikramaditya is actually, it is called the INS Kadamba is the home base of INS Vikramaditya. So remember that as well. Okay. So let me just write it down for better reference. Upon completion, this is going to be the largest naval base in Asia. Okay, remember, because this could be asked, that will lie at the east of the Suez Canal. Remember this entire statement actually, because there are parts to it. Moving on, if we talk about the Kadambas or the Kadamba dynasty, it's an ancient royal family in Karnataka. These were the ancient royal families in Karnataka, and they existed from 345 Common Era to 540 Common Era in the northern Karnataka and Konkan region. It was founded by Mayur Sharman, okay, and it coexisted with the Western Ganga dynasty together, marking the earliest native rule in the region. Also, they became vassals or the fiduciaries of larger empires such as Chalukyas and the Rashtrakutas. That is why minor Kadamba dynasties were seen in Goa, Halasi, and Hangal. So that was all for today. I hope you found this class helpful, and I do request that please find my Telegram channel, for which the link will be provided in the comment segment, so that you can access the PDF, and share and subscribe and like it, please. Thank you so much.